9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state returns to the country after attending the funeral of the former Kenyan President Daniel Arap Moi. Middle East meeting at the UN Security Council on the American peace plan. Welcome to our newsroom. The head of state returned to the capital after his participation in the 33 African Union Summit at the meeting of the African Peace Review Mechanism, the fifth session of UNESCO Equatorial Guinea International Prize for Research in Life Science. On his descent from the plane, the President of the Republic was greeted by the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, the President of National Assembly Mohammed Ali Humman, and member of the government. After his participation in the funeral of the former Kenyan President Daniel Arap Moi, during his speech, the President praised the late Kenyan leader's tireless effort for peace and stability in Africa. He also used the occasion of his address to convey directly his saddened condolences on those of the people and government of Djibouti, to the authorities and friendly people of Kenya, and to the relatives and families of the late Daniel Arap Moi. President of the Republic takes part in Kenya's state funeral. Former President Daniel Arap Moi, the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, took part today, Tuesday, in Nairobi, Kenya, in an important national funeral ceremony that the country has organized in memory of its former President of the Republic, the late Daniel Arap Moi, who recently died at the age of 95 after a peaceful retirement after his departure from the Supreme Judiciary in 2002. President Guelleh attended all the stages of the ceremony, which included military parade, official speeches of the late Daniel Arap Moi's meritorious career, and right and chorus to the melodious sounds of which Kenya wished to pay a last tribute to the man who watched over its collective destiny for more than 20 years. As a grandiose farewell, still on the subject of the symbols agreed upon around the death of the late Daniel Arap Moi, it should be noted that Kenya has decreed a national mourning period of 3 days and a lowering of its flag to half-mast for the same period. A large crowd came to take part in the national funeral organized in memory of the late Daniel Arap Moi. The latter stormed the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi, the site of the event, and filled all the stands before forming a compact mass of people all around the stadium and the arteries leading to it. The participation of the President of Djibouti in the national funeral ceremony organized in memory of the late Daniel Arap Moi was marked, among the other things, by the speech he made at the tribune of this event. Listen to the head of state.
Rahman Rahim, Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellency First Lady, ladies, embassies, head of states and governments, good afternoon. Kenya has lost one of its greatest sons in the demise of His Excellency Daniel Arap Moi. President Moi was one of the founding fathers of IGAD. He was a great statesman and one of the biggest Pan-Africanists in this period. We present our sincere condolences to the family, the government, and the people of Kenya. May God receive him in his heaven. Thank you.
The Minister in charge of Decentralization, Hammadou Mohamed Aramis, received yesterday, Monday, 10 February, at his office the new ambassador of the delegations of the European Union to the Republic of Djibouti, to IGAD, Mr. Aidan O'Hara. This audience was part of the European diplomat courtesy visit and first contact with the national authorities. Therefore, the minister, first of all, welcomed him to the country and to the Secretary of State for Decentralization and assured him of his support in the accomplishment of his missions in our country. The two men took the opportunity to briefly review the issue of decentralization and local development. Minister Aramis reminded his interlocutor that the important reform carried out by his department in synergy with the sectoral and technical ministries stems from the political will of the President of the Republic to, the one hand, establish local management to bring the people closer to the administrations and respond effectively to the needs and concerns of our fellow citizens, and on the other hand, to promote balanced development of our regions on basic participation community in improving the living conditions. Indeed, the geothermal energy and solar energy being explored. Djibouti has just launched the productions of wind energy. Listen to Dini Musa in this report.
Is moving towards 100% green energy by 2030. Indeed, with geothermal energy and solar energy being explored, Djibouti has just launched the production of wind energy. The agreement of this construction of the first wind power plant was signed yesterday afternoon at the Kempinski between Djibouti and the financing companies. The president of the Ports and Free Zones Authority, Abubakar Umar Hadi, initiated the official document with the three financing companies, namely Africa Finance Corporation, Climate Fund Managers, and the Dutch Bank for Interregional Development. Thanks to various large-scale infrastructure projects, this will help to boost Djibouti's demand for electricity. Regarding this subject, the Assist Management Director of Climate Fund Managers, Mrs. Alban Poussam, made a statement.
Exciting project is also very happy to reach that closing. We are definitely valuing the strong partnership that we have with AFC, GHH and FMO, and we're looking forward to deliver this project on time, and it definitely fits within the mandate of CFM, so it's a very exciting day for us. Yeah.
We have collected an excerpt from the interview with the representative of Africa Financing. Listen to it.
And we've been very, very, very pleased with the progress. If you look at the development of projects in Africa, it usually takes 3 to 5 years to arrive at this stage. And in Djibouti, it took us just about 2 years to complete the financing of the project. We have the contractor here, we have the consultants here, and they've started the process of mobilizing to the site. So, and for us, that's a very, very encouraging aspect, because it shows that the government and the whole Djibouti machinery is very, very, very supportive of private investment into the country. We've worked over the past 2 years with the Ministry of Energy. The minister himself has been very, very active in supporting this project. We've worked with EDD, and they've been very, 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 very cooperative in negotiating the various project agreements. So we are very, very happy on the part of AFC. As you know, AFC is a leading financial institution out of Africa. And we do go identify projects and leverage our relationships with some of our international development partners like FMO. And we look for governments that are very, very, very serious towards the development of their infrastructure, engage with them and bring them solutions towards addressing the infrastructure needs of its people.
The president of the Ports and Free Zone Authority, Abubakar Umar Hadi, said for his part that the room has brought together the companies that will finance the project to build a wind farm in Gubet region to produce electricity. This wind farm will produce a capacity of 60 megawatts. He said, President Hadi, the cost of the project is $122 million US dollars, and construction will start this month, the president had added. The sub-prefect of the first district, Mr. Abdi Hassan, in collaboration with the sanitation service of ONIAD and gendarmerie, conduct an operations to control the clandestine PVC network set up by the inhabitant of the popular districts such as District 6. During their operation, they open up sewers of the working class district. The sanitation service found several clandestine PVC network linked to this sewer, and which causes the saturations of the network. For his part, the sub-prefect of the first district, Abdi Hassan, said appeal to all the inhabitants of the working class district that the sewerage networks should not be connected to the PVC networks of the neighbor. In the continuity of the control operations, the Trade Minister's control officer carried out today a large-scale unannounced control operation in Neighborhood 6. This aim at this campaign is to protect consumers against illegal price increase and the sale of poor quality food products, and to raise awareness among economic operators about their legal and regulatory obligations. It should be recalled that the Ministry of Commerce closely monitors the price situations of all the purchasing powers of citizens and deal with any fraud operations affecting the prices and quality of this product. The consultation workshop on population and development issue on the basis of the ICDP programs of action held in Tajura. Listen to this report. The young students from the Djibouti capital schools has visited the National Gendarmerie office at PICA 23. The visit was carried out by the gendarmerie officers to the young boys and girls of school. They visited the gendarmerie's headquarters at PICA 23. The consultation workshop on population and development issue on the basis of the ICDP program of action held in Tajura. Listen for more detail with Dini Musa.
Constitutional workshop on issues related to population and development on the basis of the ICPD program of action, which took place in Tajura on 10 February 2020, with the prefect of Tajura, the president of the regional council, local elected officials, and the decentralized services of the state. The Parliamentary Group on Population and Development made a field visit to the CMH of Tajura. After a very fruitful exchanges during the workshop, the parliamentarians decided to go and see the hospital center in person and discuss with the chef doctor the care provided to the population and the means that are made available. This was an opportunity to observe the needs for technical and material capacity building for the improvement of available services. Being close to the population is the motive of the parliamentary group, so that no one feels left out.
Within the government, in the framework of the government policy relating to the rapprochement between the administration and the people, the prefect of the Obok region, Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita, has begun a tour from the Bisidiru localities at more than 120 kilometers from the Obok region. Listen to this report.
Within the framework of the government's policy relating to the bringing together of the administration and the people, the prefect of the Obokh region, Mr. Abdul Malik Muhammad Banoita, began a tour of the locality of Bisidero, 120 kilometers from the capital of Obokh and bordering Eritrea on Sunday 9th February 2020. In his trip, the prefect was accompanied by the president of the regional council of Obokh, Mr. Muhammad Humad Ismail, the army chief of staff, Colonel Aden Dawali Warsama, a medical team led by the chief medical officer and the educational advisor of the Minister of National Education, Mr. Hussein Ali. On their arrival, the prefect and his delegations were warmly welcomed by the sub-prefect of Alali Dada, Mr. Humad Ali Umar, and the host population. After the welcome, the prefect visited the field, the existing infrastructures, namely boreholes and agriculture areas, and ongoing projects. Afterwards, fruitful exchanges took place between the two parties. At the same time, the identity cards produced were handed out, and the medical team provided medical care ranging from treatment and vaccination. At the end of this meeting, it was noted to improve collaboration and set up a mechanism to prioritize needs in order to improve their living conditions and reduce their weaknesses, and to act so that the action find a variable echo in community development. The prefect of the region also visited the border posts of Bisidero, Adaitu, and Domera. The representative of the state took the opportunity to thank the men in uniform for their daily activities, their commitments, and the services they provide to the people, while reminding them that security is everybody's business. At the end of this day of meeting with the people took place in a friendly atmosphere of mutual respect.
Pedagogical team from the training centers for teachers of basic education started yesterday, crisscrossing the entire national territory, started by the region of Ali Sabih. More detail with this report.
The CFEEF at work all over the national territory pedagogical teams from the Center for Training of Teachers of Fundamental Education started yesterday, Sunday, February 9, 2020, crisscrossed the entire national territory, and this in addition to regular monitoring provided by the pedagogical advisors of the regional inspectorates to ensure a reliable pedagogical supervision to the many school teachers posted in the various basic and middle schools in the capital and all the regions of the country. In other words, brought to these young men and women new to the noble provision of teaching, a generation of teachers, access to the so-called single framework stipulated by Presidential Decree number 2017-3050/PR/MEMFOP on the modalities of hiring, training, and certification of student teachers in the CFEEF. Very early this morning, members of these teams arrived in Ali Sabih. It should be noted that this is their second field trip during the current school year to support the trainee teachers in their daily tasks of training the future generations of the.
Also, as part of the National Week to fight against the cervical cancers, the National Reference Husseina Centers of the Reproductive Health continues its screening campaign, this time at Farhat Polyclinic, where women from all surrounding neighborhoods have been sensitized and trained on the prevention and screening of cervical cancer. To this end, health technicians from the Husseina Center were able to conduct this mass screening activity in collaboration with the health committee of three neighborhoods, namely neighborhood 5, 6, and 7. For the international scene, the United Nations Security Council will discuss Tuesday the U.S. peace plan for Palestine. Listen to this report.
The Security Council is expected to hold a meeting on Tuesday to discuss the U.S. Middle East peace plan, a UN spokesman said Monday. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and UN Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Nikolai Meladinov, will address the meeting. Guterres' deputy spokesman Farhan Haq told reporters. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is also expected to make a statement during the briefing. U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled his controversial Middle East peace plan January 28, calling for a two-state solution while recognizing Jerusalem as the invisible capital of Israel. The American plan was immediately rejected by Palestine and the Arab world.
The passage of Sierra storms in Spain causes several deaths. More detail with this report.
Sierra has left at least 7 people dead and around 10 injured after its passage through Western Europe, according to the latest report released on Monday, 10 February. 1 man died in his car, while a tree fell on a motorway southwest of London. In southern Poland, 2 women, aged 21 and 52, and a 15-year-old teenager, all from the same family, were killed, when a roof collapsed in gusts of wind of nearly 100 km per hour. The death was the result of the collapse of a roof caused by gusts of wind. In northeastern Slovenia, a 52-year-old man was crushed to death in his car by falling trees. The authorities have asked people in the northern regions to stay home. In southern Sweden, where train traffic was still disrupted on Monday morning, while thousands of homes remained without electricity, a yacht man lost his life after his boat capsized. A person accompanying him is missing.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.